many reasons that a woman may continue to stay in an abusive relationship. But I can mention a few. We can look at the socioeconomic reasons. Women in general have been known to have the disadvantage of having a lower income worldwide, actually. And I think I was just debating with my husband that um, a man and a woman could have the same job description, doing the same thing, and yet you will find that the woman may be paid lower than the man would be paid. So generally, you would find that most women have a lower um, income than men. And then we also are at the disadvantage of being in a subordinate social status. Most, should I say, cultures, and especially I think African countries, the women are seen, should I say, in a lower social status than a man. And because of some of these reasons, the women find it quite difficult to leave. So, for instance, I've had patients that I've seen in the consulting room, and I've asked, why wouldn't you leave if your husband is abusing you? They've said, look, I don't have the income. How am I going to take care of 2 children, 3 children, 4 children? So that's a major, major problem for some of the women. And they continue to say that they're staying because of their children. They need to take care of their children. Again, they don't want their children to suffer certain losses. They want their children to have both parents at home and all that. Again, we can look at the cultural reasons. Women, should I say, we've been socialized to the point that we all want to get married. And then when we get married, we want to stay in the marriage. We want to stay through to the marriage. So when the abuse is going on, we want to still stay in there. We don't want to get a divorce. Again, we think that we'll be stigmatized if we go through divorce. And as much as possible, we want to avoid that. Again, you mentioned religious reasons, which are very important. Unfortunately, most of our religious practices frown on divorce. I mean, you would have, I'm sorry to say, you would have pastors and so on actually encouraging victims to stay and to pray that it would change. I mean, the situations in the marriage, the conditions in the marriage, and all that would change. And so the victim continues to be in there and continue praying. I'm not saying praying is bad, but the victim continues in there praying and hoping that it will change. But then sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. So these are some of the reasons that some women would continue to stay in an abusive relationship.